Welcome back to another video. My name is Amy. For those of you who don't know me, I'm in my first year of law school. I finished my first semester, survived. I'm so happy. A lot of people always say that law school changes them, but no one ever really explains why. Like, they just want to gatekeep the reasons why it changes how you think, and they just want to be mysterious because that's what all law students want to be, is mysterious and better than everyone else. So I'm here doing my due diligence, and I'm going to tell you guys why law school changes the way you think. Like, not really why, but the ways in which it does. Also, by the way, if you see this like floating rock, it's just my phone. I'm trying to improve the audio quality and I don't have a mic. As I was saying, I've become quite insufferable to myself because constantly through like normal day-to-day interactions, I'm always thinking about things that law school kind of makes you think about. For example, like everybody texts on their phones and we do this under a second. It's like our thoughts are just written and immediately sent to the other person, which is fine because if you're not thinking about the consequences, you're just like, whatever, I'm just talking with my friend. What's the big deal? I now think about, would I want this to be read in a courtroom in front of a judge, used against me in any way? I always think about that every time I'm gonna send a text. I don't really do it when I'm texting my family, which I still should because you never know. It's also not that serious and like I'm not doing anything wrong. It's not like I'm out here committing crimes, but I do think about it all the time because you never really know. And like even if you're in the heat of a moment and you're texting about someone you don't like just think about how those texts sound. Do you actually hate them that much that you're gonna like put yourself in a position where you sound like you were the one that them? I don't know. Food for thought. None of this is legal advice in any way, but I just personally don't text anything that I wouldn't want used against me. On that same note, we literally have no privacy. If you want to be a part of this society and exist, then you are giving up some sort of privacy. Even in our jobs, emailing, there's no privacy there. It's going to be released to a third party. Having a phone, no privacy. It's constantly pinging your location. We read about a case recently where some officials got an anonymous tip, which, by the way, in all of these cases in criminal procedure, all the officials always get an anonymous tip, but it's like, how many anonymous tips can you get before I start getting suspicious of you? Yeah, so these officials got an anonymous tip about somebody who was supposedly, probably, maybe growing a certain type of plant in their backyard. So the officials took it upon themselves to go get a plane. Like, why do you have that much time in your day that you're going to go get a plane just to see if somebody's growing crop in their backyard? When it's like, let's keep in mind, this is somebody's home, like their curtilage, within their curtilage, like their intimate private moments happen in their home. And it's their backyard, right? So don't think of it like as, oh, this person is definitely committing a crime, so it's okay for the officials to just go get a plane and look at their backyard. Think about it as like, you have a reasonable expectation of privacy, and I personally think that what I do in my fenced backyard is private to me, and the reason why I have a fence is because I don't want people to look at what I'm doing, even if it's something innocent like tanning or like running in the field with my dog. You would reasonably expect that you have some degree of privacy, but these officials went on the plane and they were like 1,000 feet in the air, and I don't know how from 1,000 feet you're gonna recognize a specific type of plant with a 35 millimeter camera, but that's exactly what happened. Like, they took images and they ended up using it against this person. But yeah, so it's not a violation of your Fourth Amendment to be observed from an aerial view in the comfort of your own home, in the comfort of your backyard. I don't know. That is mind-blowing to me, but just think about how many advancements in technology will change how law is interpreted and how much more privacy we're going to have to give up eventually. I don't really understand the people who post every little second of their life. Why do you want to put that out for other people to see? I personally don't really use social media that much, to the point where I'm like posting everything I'm doing every second. And I was like that before law school, so I guess it's like a little bit biased from my end. But now that I'm in law school, like especially everything you post, you think it's gonna delete in 24 hours. No, it does not delete in 24 hours. And also the photos on your phone. You are doing this to yourself. And again, I'm not doing anything criminal. Whatever. Just nothing is really truly ever private if you want to be a part of this society. So if I could get rid of my phone and just live in the woods forever, I would, but I just can't. Another thing that I think about very frequently is the fact that police are just not your friend. Yes, if you're in danger and you think of what to do, you're going to think of calling the police, but when you're on the opposite end and there's a police literally reading you your Miranda rights, which quite literally tell you to your face anything you say can and will be used against you. I feel like we shouldn't just gloss over that. They're telling you to your face. They're not gonna use what you say for you. They're not gonna use it in support of you. So if you're innocent, just zip it. Even if I'm innocent, I'm not gonna go yapping about stuff because it could be used against me. It probably will be used against me even if I'm innocent, right? So just lawyer up. It's like, it's hard because when you know you're innocent, you want to talk and justify and like defend yourself, but it really is not to your favor if you just start yapping. Another thing that's been on my mind a lot since starting law school is the fact that like nothing is really that deep. And when I say this, I don't mean like the little things I just explained. I mean like in general, life just should not be that deep. And I always think of this video.
What am I doing with my life? I'm alive! I'm alive! Free yourself!
Yeah, I think about that a lot because I spent a lot of time doing things for school. At the end of the day, I don't know if we should necessarily be using every second of our lives to be productive, because what type of life is that? I think it's different when you are working and you have a purpose for that job, like you're helping somebody gain access to something, or like you're doing something for the better of humankind, like that's different. But like when it's just grunt work, I just personally feel like we only have one life and you don't know when you're gonna die. So, you know, I also see torts everywhere, like holes in the ground, pill bottles. I'm thinking, does this have the sufficient warning labels on it? Like, are these things labeled up correctly? Because I recently saw a video, it's so sad, of this lawyer who's talking about his client, and something happened to the daughter. I cannot remember clearly at this point in time. The thing that the daughter was eating did not have a warning label on it, and it's like, you're done, buddy. Like, you are done. You're donezo. Like, you are dead meat, because it should have a warning label on it. I'm not even somebody who's going to make a product, but I just think about it all the time. I've spent a lot of time in the gym, so I always constantly think about, would this be like something that I could recover for, or is that like we signed that away on a waiver? I don't remember, because we're constantly entering contracts, and that's another thing I want to talk about. But you don't even think about it, but like everything you do is a contract. Even an interaction with like a friend, you're entering into contracts every single day. And it really trips me out because I get so nervous, especially because I'm in a lease for a house. So I'm constantly thinking about whether or not I breach the contract, which again, I'm not doing anything to breach the contract, but it's just overthinking, right? And also, like when you enter into agreements with apps, like when you download an app, you're agreeing to terms and conditions. You are in another contract. I could name like 20 things. You're just constantly entering into contracts. Like when you get your car washed, when you buy a car, when you buy virtually anything, it's like, it's a contract. Another thing that I think about all the time is dying without a will, because I'm in trust and estates right now, and we're learning about like holographic wills and what jurisdictions allow holographic wills and which ones don't, and then like wills in general. It's interesting because a huge thing to courts, no matter what area of law, I feel, is intent. Like, they'll analyze the intent of the testator. I think about that because even though I'm not going to pass away anytime soon, and even if I was, again, you never know when you're going to pass away, but if I was, I don't have anything to my name, like assets, so I don't really need to figure out what I'm going to do with my will. But like, I think about it because we all have parents, and I'm always thinking like, should they make a will, or should they just allow the intestacy statutes to take care of that? I don't know what the right answer is. And I'm just always thinking about that too. But just in general, law school has changed the way that I approach a lot of things, because first of all, for some reason, law school is very competitive and everybody's just out to eat each other. And